Audi has just launched two electrifying electric cars. They're bringing supercar performance to a plug near you. The Audi e-tron GT and the Audi RS e-tron GT have both simultaneously been launched. But what is even more electrifying it is the price. They've been very, very competitively priced. And talking to me about this and a lot more is the head of Audi in India, Mr. Balbir Singh Dhillon. Balbir, a shocker of a car, shocker of a price in keeping with the electric theme. First, I want to jump straight actually to what I think is a very, very competitive pricing, because typically BEVs are substantially more expensive than their IC counterparts. But this time you've given some great pricing, and the fact that there's no registration means on road, there's no reason to buy an IC supercar anymore.
Well, you're absolutely right. We have been, let's say, fighting with the headquarters to give us good price, and successfully we've been able to do it. And I am sure there will be a lot of buyers who would definitely think twice before buying, let's say, 2 crore plus cars, to think of this car, because yes, with registration taxes, but also I must thank the government here as well, because you see there is also a difference in the GST. On the electric cars, it's 5% as compared to other cars where it is between 48 to 50%. So, all these things are helping. And of course, as the infrastructure grows, more and more customers can buy these cars. And of course, we have very good range on these cars. So all is available for our customers. And very important to also mention is that these cars have been recently launched globally. So we also want to bring in the latest cars that we launch globally for our customers in India, so that they can experience what we have latest from our portfolio.
So the combination of low GST, 5% GST and no registration, I think that's really the magic to such great pricing.
Absolutely, you're right.
Just before I get into the car, sense one gets is that these cars are launched, very limited numbers, they get sold out, and then people have to wait a long time. Are we going to see enough supply of these cars, given the fact that there could be huge demand for them, or is each country have a very limited quota and allocation?
So we launched the electric car just 2 months before, so we are also experiencing, and I'm happy to share that our first lot of e-tron 50, 55, they all got sold off. And it was also a little bit surprise for us as well, because the way we planned, we thought we will sell over a period of time, but they got sold off much faster. You're right. I mean, it is important to plan these cars much in advance, and that's how we get our allocation. But the way we are seeing this positivity, and that's how we get these cars, because we were able to sell them the other ones well. But we've planned our quotas well in the coming time, so that we are able to bring more and more of these cars. But I'm sure our headquarters will also help us if we are able to sell more cars, because we want to see the success of electric mobility in India. And success drives further success, and that is what we are looking at. So I think there won't be any shortage in the times to come. Maybe there is a delay in availability of some of these cars for a couple of months, but we will get them consistently to the country.
You mentioned, or Audi made a statement that sustainability is the new premium. How is this going down with, let's say, premium car buyers? I wouldn't imagine cost is so much of an issue, but are they looking at EVs as a new form of luxury, or making a statement? We have a green number plate in India, which is a big statement in itself. What's your sense of the kind of buyers you're getting? And obviously the fact that, as you said, you've sold out all your stocks, so obviously the demand is much more than you anticipated. Who's buying these cars, and why are they buying them?
Well, it's a very important question, because it is also something which is in development, because we've just launched these cars 2 months back. But what we are speaking to each one of our customers to understand why they've bought these cars. So I think primary reason for them to be, one is, of course, as you mentioned, the green number plate. They want to have and they have the potential to buy these cars, one, and secondly, they are looking for sustainability for their next generations. And I can also share with you, one of our customers said that his 9-year-old son almost forced him to buy an electric car. So everything is mattering. Everybody in the family is taking this decision, and the younger generation is even more than this.
That's right.
So
because
they're
going to be impacted by climate change more than anyone else.
And they're reading this, and they're studying in the classes. So everything is helping in moving. And I think the whole atmosphere today in India is positive towards electric mobility, whether it is two-wheeler or four-wheelers. And I think this euphoria is moving in a positive direction. And as more and more charging infrastructure comes into the country, it is only going to be better and better in the times to come.
And looking at the target audience for these cars, could they be typical regular RS buyers, even an RS7 buyer, R8 buyer? What's the kind of profile? Are you looking at a completely new set of buyers as well?
So for us, anybody is welcome. I think existing customers who have driven RS models, we want them to drive these cars and understand and see they can perform better, if not equal to those cars as well. So those are existing customers, but there are also first-time Audi customers who are going to buy these cars. There are also younger people. There are new startups that are coming into the country. People have potential to buy these cars. So we are also seeing people who will buy these cars for the first time. So
Right.
it's a gamut of prospective buyers who we are looking at. So there is no very restrictive boundaries here.
Right, and just talking overall about the market, you said you kind of increased your sales by 115% Jan to June 21 over the last year. Obviously, not shared any numbers right now. I don't know if you can or will, but where do you see this growth coming from, and is it just the market bouncing back and a general feel-good factor in the market?
So yes, the growth, as you mentioned, is for the first 8 months of this year.
Yeah.
But I think in general, the growth is coming from across the country when it comes to geography. But it is also because of the new models that we've launched. So the potential of customers who are buying these models and the love that they are getting by buying these cars from us, that is what is leading for this growth. And I can also share with you, this is not end, we've just begun. And in the next couple of months, you will also see more models that we will be launching, and we believe that we will do very, very well in the times to come. So growth is not just what has happened in the past, but also we're going to see a good growth in the coming months as well.
Right, and just overall looking at Audi's India strategy, clearly, from what it was earlier, sense one gets is not chasing volumes. Is it all about now developing a sustainable business as well, scaling to the right size? And going forward also with the digitalization that's happening, would this means even right sizing showrooms and let's say the entire network as well? So just wanted to get your sense on what's the Audi going to be in the next 5 years, Audi India?
So very pertinent question. Sustainability also has to be sustainability of our partners, our dealerships, because at the end of the day, they are the ones who are representing us at the ground with our customers. So our dealers needs to be sustainable and profitable. So yes, we are looking at every possibility where if there are possibility to reduce certain costs which are not required, we actually have done this quite a bit. And our focus going forward is also going to be a workshop first strategy, which we are part of our strategy 2025. So we are expanded and further expanding in tier 2, tier 3 cities with our workshop first approach. So it is better to be closer to the customer when they need help in after sales than, because selling is once in 3 years or once in 4 years phenomena, but servicing is more frequent. So that is where we want to be sustainable and profitable, not just for us but also for the dealer partners.
Right.
So that
Lastly,
is
I'm going to press you a bit. Maybe you won't want to give me numbers, but is it fair to say you could look at healthy 3-digit sales on an annual basis for your electric portfolio?
Definitely yes, because it just launched, I think, two months back. So let's look at a full year. We are definitely looking at these kind of numbers and perhaps more.
Could we see 4 digits, or is that optimistic?
I think it's we have to be careful in making these statements because, as I said, we want to sell and we want to win, but holistically, not just focusing only on numbers, but happy customers at the end of the day. The experience that we want to give to our customers is the best Audi experience, that we want them to be our family members, and I think that will bring growth. So 4-digit, I think maybe a little more time, because we also need to look at or keep in mind that these are FPUs, and there are also limitation to some extent. We can bring the number of cars on annual basis. So there are those kind of limitations as well.
So long term, could we look at CKD for these cars as well? I know some of your competitors are looking at it. So is that a possibility?
So everything is possible. It's a matter of numbers. If it makes a business sense, we will also look at all those possibilities. So it's just a matter of time. You already know globally Audi has decided to become an electric car company one day.
Right.
And that means some point in time we will also, what we are doing in India in terms of ICE engines, we'll have no choice but to do it. It's the question of when.
Right.
Not the question of if.
Right. So, well, with that, I think a very good electric car future. That's Balbir Singh Dhillon talking about not only these cars, but the fact that Audi is definitely headed to all electric future. We know that by 2030, all Audi cars will only be all electric. How fast the pace of electrification in India happens, that remains to be seen. But cars like this at the top end kind of spur that demand and spur the pace of that. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. We've broken protocol.
Yes.
Thank you.